Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with exclusive member-only deals. Right now, save $30 on a Little Giant Extra Light Plus 5-foot aluminum stepladder. Was $109, now just $79. Plus, save an additional $20 on the Metabo HPT pneumatic finish nailer. Don't miss out on these limited time deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 3/17 through 3/19. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Welcome back to the Federal Drive with Tom Tamon here on Federal News Network. The deal for civil service used to be lower potential lifetime earnings, maybe, in exchange for job security and decent retirement benefits. Well, now a new job insecurity has emerged. Feds need to change their thinking and prepare for loss of income and annuity. Advice now from certified financial planner Art Stein of Art Stein Financial. And so, the assumptions need to be revised, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, as everybody knows, probably who's listening to this, just a whirlwind of kind of bad news, disruption, and just developments that we never expected to see. And, for financial planning, retirement planning, financial security, my firm does a lot of work with federal employees and retirees. That's mainly what we do. And our work was really solidly based upon one, job security for the employees. And so if a financial problem could be solved by working longer, that was, a real solution that people often took. And I'm sure and I know federal employees who worked into their 70s and in some cases even 80s just because they wanted to. The second one was that the benefits, salaries and annuities would always be paid on time. And I don't know, we may find that those payments, even if they're made, may be delayed because the workforce has been so reduced and screwed up. And, now people have to spend time writing emails about their 5 recent accomplishments, all kinds of weird stuff. So I feel like all Americans need to worry about how timely their payments will be, and that includes Social Security recipients, Medicare and Medicaid recipients, and certainly includes maybe even salaries and maybe even the annuity payments. And the third thing is that I never worried too much about Congress reducing benefits for employees and retirees. And I don't know whether to worry about it now or not, but it's much more of a possibility than it was in the past.
Well, one of the things maybe in reconciliation bills would be higher employee contributions to their pensions, which from the employee standpoint looks like a cut in pay, basically.
Well, but also reductions in the cost of living adjustments, which actually saves the government a lot of money, but is a huge part of the retirement benefits. And even, the current subsidy for health insurance is over 70%. They could cut that. All these things could happen. I'm not saying they will. I'm not predicting, but people need to be worried about that.
And by the way, have you heard anything from anyone on length in receiving confirmation of Social Security benefits or in Medicare?
No, I have not. And I was in a doctor's office. I asked them about whether they're getting reimbursements on time for Medicare. They seem to be. It's not happening now. I would say it's not happening now. I pray that it doesn't happen in the future, but I think that people need to be prepared. And there are 5 ways that they can prepare for these negative things that I mentioned that are worth doing anyway. And one is to build up an emergency fund. Make sure you have 6 or 7 months worth of expenses. Some people want even more. I used to think that federal employees and retirees could get away easily with 3 or 4 months because everything seems so set. Well, that's clearly not true anymore. Anybody has credit card debt, pay it down. Credit card debt, and don't buy anything on credit till the future, becomes the present and we know what's going to happen. And in order to build up an emergency fund and pay off credit card debt, if employees need to reduce their thrift savings plan contributions to do that, as long as they are contributing at least 5% to get the full match, I think that that is currently definitely worth doing. You know, cash may be king, and cash is frequently king or queen during times of financial stress.
Well, yes, I think too, if you budget, as you say, from whatever source, whether it's your TSP contributions or just your monthly dinner out expenses, and budget toward a specific piece of debt to reduce, it's kind of magical how fast you can make it go away.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, some people pay more on their mortgage payment than they do need to. Don't do that now. Put that money in the bank, use it to pay down credit card debt, use it to build up an emergency fund. Paying down your mortgage, you know, the equity you have in your home has a 0% rate of return, and it's very difficult to spend. Now, one way that you can use that equity is to get a home equity line of credit from your bank. And I would say that that is worth doing because you don't have to use it. It's just there. You get pre-approved. You get a checkbook. If you need to write a check, then they're going to charge you interest. But that's worth doing as a possible source of emergency funds. And then finally, for the money that you do have in the bank, take a good look at what kind of interest rates you're getting and compare it to other banks, including banks that don't have a brick and mortar location or online banks. As long as they're insured by the FDIC, you know, they're safe and they frequently have higher interest rates. And I speak to people all the time who have $50,000, $100,000 in their bank account, savings account, personal savings account, getting like 1% or maybe less when they could easily be getting 4% or more.
And that's a good point because therefore you're not keeping up with inflation, which is still above 2-3%, and especially in some of the common commodities.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that would be more than the inflation rate. Now, when you take into account taxes, you're probably losing purchasing power. So, which is a reason not to have too much in savings accounts. But still, at least you're getting a lot more than you were getting before.
Yes, and also probably wise to not pay attention to all of the ads touting gold and silver as somehow as if that'll insulate you from every possible economic whim, because those are volatile commodities, even though they're value over time. But they go up and down too, don't they?
Gold, one, it's volatile. Two, it has no real inherent value. You know, even jewelry people, you know, wear a lot less. And it doesn't, you know, it's not an inflation hedge. It doesn't go up with inflation. And so we look at gold. I did a big review about 7, 8 years ago, thinking about should we invest in gold, and it didn't make any sense. You know, Bitcoin, again, it's just a crapshoot. Bitcoin especially has no inherent value. It's strictly price kept up by other people buying. If other people stop buying, you know, that's going to be bad news for Bitcoin holders.
And I guess that bridges us to the another topic that's on everybody's mind, and that is the stock market has been difficult in the past few weeks, and we're really seeing some major volatility there. I know long term you have advised people to understand that it is volatile.